Welcome to the Echo Sportscast number 48. I'm Paul McLean.
I'm Kyle Anderson.
On today's show, we're going to feature semifinal action in the men's baseball as Eastside Maros faced off against Assante. Eastside Maros trying to force a Game 3. We've got some footage of that, including a wild diving grab by Cooper Lamb. And Lavrock takes on Gateway, with the winner set to face off in the final next week.
We also have a spotlight interview with Chris Dawson, the Powassan Voodoo's GM and Bay Today journalist, to chat with him on his induction to the Hockey North Hall of Fame under the media category.
We've got cricket updates as the North Bay Panthers Cricket Club went to the Sioux for the second annual Sioux North Cup.
The Warriors of Hope were in a dragon boat race in Welland, and we'll give you an update on how that went down.
So all of that's coming up after we have a word from our title sponsor, the North Bay Regional Health Center Foundation.
Dear North Bay, as a single mom and full-time student, life can feel overwhelming and budgets are always tight. But one thing I never question is how deeply I care about my community. When I began volunteering at the North Bay Regional Health Center, I saw firsthand how much the healthcare system means to people, especially when life takes an unexpected turn. It made me think, what if it was my child, my parent, or my friend that was in need of care? That's when I realized I wanted to do more, to be part of something bigger than myself. I joined the I Give monthly club because even a small monthly gift can have a meaningful impact, helping ensure everyone in our community has access to the care they need right here at home. If you believe in strong, local health care, I hope you'll join me. Sign up at nbrhcfoundation.ca or call 705-495-8125. It's simple and it matters. With gratitude, Kim Cosgrove.
The North Bay Panthers Cricket Club finished as runner-up after a hard-fought final against Big Nickel Cricket Club Sudbury in the Sioux for the second annual Sioux North Cup, which is the largest cricket tournament in Northern Ontario. It features 8 teams from 5 cities across the north competing over 4 days.
I read the article as well too, and I think that's really cool to see. It's nice to see the cricket community, and they're very excited about getting the new field that the city's going to be putting towards, and we've got funding towards it, and it's all going to be out at the Omichelle complex.
Yeah, it seems to be growing a lot in North Bay cricket, for sure.
It's something I walked around the first sporting goods store in Canada where I happened to see some cricket stuff in the corner,
really?
And I'm like, okay, well, this is
it's
time.
happening, yeah.
We're going to have a conversation with these guys and find out what they need, but I think it's really amazing that we're doing it. I think it's a great sport, and I hope that, maybe there's some kids who can learn about cricket. I mean, or adults that can learn about cricket. I don't know the rules either, but I know it's really popular. But the other thing I keep joking about too is how, on the baseball side, I don't know if you ever saw the movie with John Hamm from Mad Men, where he's like recruited cricket players to become pitchers. So I was like, they know how to throw a ball.
No, it's what I play softball in town, and a lot of the games in the parking lot.
Right.
There'll be kids playing cricket out there.
Yeah.
And I've wanted to go over and recruit some of them for my team, which are not very good.
Yeah.
But it's
they know how to hit a ball and they know how to throw a ball. That's the basics.
And it's awesome. They'll come and watch us play too.
Yeah.
And then they'll ask a bunch of questions about softball and baseball and the rules, and we'll talk about it. But it always comes back to them not having somewhere to play, right? Yeah. So it's great that we'll hopefully have some more places in the city for them.
I think that would be great. I mean, it's very obvious that, there's a big change. There's a lot of new people in North Bay. And I think, what better way to, kind of break down some barriers than through sport.
Absolutely.
It's a really easy way. And I think that would be great. So looking forward to that and glad to see that they're having success. That trip to the Sioux is always hard, and at least they didn't lose to the Sioux there, but losing to Sudbury is not any better either. So I'm sure that we'll be very happy to return the favor when we can host the northern competitions up here. So
absolutely.
Good. The North Bay Mountain Bike Association hosted a mountain bike race last weekend as part of the Ontario Enduro Series, which is the province's premier race circuit. Over 70 riders from across Ontario participated in the 2-day race. The results are on the North Bay Mountain Bike Association's Facebook, but they're pretty hard to read. So we can't give you a full update on what happened, but keep an eye on their socials for the full results in the coming days.
I know we talked about cricket earlier, becoming more popular, but I think mountain biking is something that's definitely been popular in this area for a while.
I know during COVID, when one of the few things that you were allowed to do was cross-country ski, I found myself and my family out there quite a bit, and it was amazing to see how big those trails are. And that was the first thought I had was, I was like, why aren't we hosting mountain bike races and stuff out here? But yeah, it's amazing. And the guys and girls that do it, like, it's just such a great way to stay in shape, be active, get out there and enjoy stuff. So,
and like you said, we've got the environment for it. I mean, there's hills everywhere, trails everywhere. There's so many different terrains that you can ride on.
Yeah,
right? So.
and that is the sort of, lots of stuff in the news, maybe not always positive about things in the city these days. And one of those things that just keeps attracting people up here are these sporting events.
Yeah, outdoor activities specifically,
And we have it, and when people get a chance to come up and see it, it's, on the one hand, people hearing that whole, like, oh, I didn't know it was so nice up here. You're like, yeah, it is. But you get a little tired of hearing that, but it's always nice at the same time to know that people really enjoy it. And you're like, yeah, this is why we're here.
No, I always say at work, I talk to a lot of future university students. I always say we're North Bay, not the North Pole.
Yep.
They're always confused. They think we're way further north than we are. So
I get that all. Like, how long did it take you to get here?
I know.
3 hours. How long did it take you? 2. I'm like, we're not really that far.
No.
You spent most of your time driving across Toronto, but
right, exactly.
So
and then for mountain biking, the summers, like, it's not just everyone thinks the winter here, right?
Yeah,
we have beautiful summers.
Yeah,
beautiful,
and lots of good, and the riding that's picked up, whether it's on the lake with fat bikes or not fat boys, but so that's good.
Congratulations goes out to the Warriors of Hope, who participated in the 3rd annual Hope Floats Dragon Boat Festival in Welland, Ontario. They captured first place in the combined B 2,000 meter race.
That's always a fun workout and great time to be on the water. Have you ever been in a dragon boat?
I have not. I've seen them, but I've never been in one.
We did it with my daughter's hockey team, working with the canoe club. They brought us out into, actually, I don't think it was a dragon boat, but it was like a big war canoe. And just to have the whole team do that, it was a great team bonding experience. And we got to, learn how to work together and the importance of that. And it's a lot of fun. And then we got to jump in the water too.
It's, I haven't been on myself, but from what I've seen, it's a lot of teamwork, obviously, right? Being synchronized, coordinated and everything. Yeah. So
next up, we've got an interview with Chris Dawson, and thrown into the fire. I'm late again for another interview. We took care of everything, but Chris is a longtime vet and a great friend too. So I'm sorry I missed it. I'll have to talk to him about it after. But
no, it was my first time meeting him. We had a great combo though. He had plenty to say, so it was a pretty easy interview. I just queued him up and he filled in all the silence for us. So dropped a lot of names from the local community too, knows a lot of people. So great guy to talk to.
Very experienced and a great honor. It's nice to see. So that's the Hockey North Hall of Fame. Creating, recognizing the media in the North too. So Chris, part of the first class. So congratulations, Chris. And here's the interview.
For our spotlight interview now, we have Chris Dawson joining us, general manager of the Powassan Voodoos and a Bay Today journalist. He's here to talk about his induction into the Hockey North Hall of Fame. Chris, welcome today.
Thanks. Nice to be here, Kyle. Nice to meet you, too.
Yeah, nice to meet you. So first question I have, I'm a big sports fan myself, so I've listened to a lot of former athletes talk about their inductions into their own Hall of Fames in their sports. So what was that process like for you? Did you get a call from someone, an email? How did you find out about the induction?
Well, it wasn't Lanny McDonald making the call.
There you go. Exactly.
No, it wasn't Lanny. Lanny didn't make the call.
Okay.
No, I actually, like I told some people, I was pretty surprised. I got a heads up from Randy Russin, who's a very hardworking journalist out of the Sioux and covers hockey, very deeply in Sault Ste. Marie, and he gave me the heads up that there was this induction happening, and I was going to be inducted in this new Hockey North Hall of Fame that's starting up in the spring of 2026, and there's going to be an event in April, and then lo and behold, about a week later, then the official press release went out and saw all the names and a lot of deserving names across Northern Ontario. A lot of people I've bumped into. So it was very very humbling. certainly being the only North Bay person on the list, I was kind of surprised. But I guess the way you look at it, it's I'm in the first induction,
Right.
which is quite the honor. But I'm sure there'll be a lot more
come.
North Bay people to come for sure, and a very long list from North Bay as well. So
Awesome. Are you planning to go to the ceremony, or?
I believe so. Yeah. I mean, I guess the Voodoo's playoffs might be the only thing that might interfere with that. So, because it's supposed to be in April of 2026 in Sault Ste. Marie.
Awesome. And there's 25 people being inducted, I believe, and you're in the media category.
Yep, correct.
So do you just want to talk a little bit about your involvement in the North Bay community over the years? I know Bay Today is a big part of it. Just kind of what you've been involved with and why you're inducted, I guess.
I first moved here from out west in 1996, and from the sports side, my first real beat was covering the North Bay Centennials, and with a fine, esteemed colleague, Greg Esterbrookes, who was my coworker at the time, and he was the sports director at MCTV, and that's where I kind of got my first taste of covering major junior hockey, and through the course of moving on, when there were layoffs at CTV, kind of found my own way and started doing some freelance with Cogeco, covered a lot of sports there, and then I think it was in 2004 I became the second sports director in the history of Bay Today, which is now I've been there 10 years as a full-time reporter, but so I've been around. I'm mixed, covering from TV to print, basically since 1996 straight on through.
Wow, awesome. And do you want to talk a little bit about just the hockey community in general in North Bay, kind of what you've experienced over the years, the teams you've covered, maybe some athletes that have come out of North Bay and moved on to other leagues and that sort of thing?
Yeah, I mean, there's the list is long. I mean, people that I think I got to know, really well, just covering their stories, and then getting to have my son actually skate on his rink would be one, in particular be Butch Turcotte, well-known Lakers coach Darren Turcotte, former NHLer's dad. So, got to know him, very well, got to play on his legendary outdoor rink for years with my son, and awesome. That was really special. So that would be definitely one for sure. And then people like Tom Hedican, who I met, he was a coach. He was involved in a coach with the London Knights, then came back to the Centennials when I was kind of getting my feet wet. And I remember Tom too. First time I was laid off at CTV, he was one of the first guys to reach out to me. Didn't know him really, really well at the time, but it really meant a lot to me to get a call like that after losing my job at CTV. But kept in touch with Tom, and certainly he had a great career as a goalie coach, and ended up being part of our when we won Hockeyville in 2007. Right. I was involved with that, and Tom did that amazing Coach for Food program that he had coached for raising money and funds for the food bank, and so anyways, using the game to give back to the community is really awesome, and Tom's really awesome too, for sure.
Yeah, and you mentioned Hockeyville. I was going to ask a question, so great segue. If you want to talk a bit about that experience, and I think it was one of the first ones too that we won, right? So
I think just before Hockeyville, I got involved with some real great folks, Debbie and Heath Marson, Brad Gavin, Randy Edmonds, Linda Turcotte, and a bunch of many others that we got involved in trying to do a pond hockey tournament up at Canadore College.
Yep.
And Dan Celine was, I think, our first year in 2006. Part of that, we wanted to do something a little bit different, and we decided to create an outreach program, and we ended up bringing kids. It was right around the time I had done a bunch of freelance TV work, and I had some connections in Louisiana. Of course, Hurricane Katrina back then was destroyed multiple arenas in parts of the U.S. that did not even have a lot of hockey in the first place. So we ended up connecting with some people I knew through my networking with covering hockey freelance-wise, and we ended up organizing, getting kids from Louisiana to come up here, and come play on outdoor ice for the first time.
That's amazing.
After Hockeyville, we had a couple seasons. We had the Atlanta, some kids from Atlanta came up, and one of them, in fact, actually was Chase Pearson. He was drafted by the Detroit Red Wings. So there was actually a kid from the pond hockey tournament up at Canadore that went on I think he's still playing minor pro, but he was in the Red Wings organization. So anyway, so those were some real amazing times. And probably where I first got embedded in being more than just covering stories, ended up becoming part of stories, and then ended up kind of evolving into being involved in junior hockey, which I've been since 2008, originally with Temiskaming Royals, then became the president of the Trappers when the franchise changed in 2010, the Junior Trappers, and then fast forward to 2017, was the first GM of the Voodoos, and been there ever since.
Yeah, and how's that looking the upcoming season for the Voodoos?
Yeah, pretty good. We got a real good crop of 19-year-olds coming. We had a bit of a disappointing year finishing under 500 and having a rough back end to the season, and then getting swept by a very good Hearst team that almost pulled off the championship. So I think we're very optimistic, and Peter Goulet and our owner-president, Jim Bruce, great to work with, and Vitaly Yachmanev, another well-known name in North Bay. He's involved with the team, so we got a real, good things happen when you're surrounded by good people. And I think, for myself, whether it's Bay Today or Powassan or the Junior Trappers or, Canadian Pond Hockey Face-Off, very fortunate to be involved with a lot of really good people. And when that happens, usually that's when success comes.
Yeah, and you, I've been wondering this too, just living North Bay myself. You might be someone to ask, but did you see a shift when the battalion returned to North Bay? There was that lull right when they left from Centennial and they came back.
We went through a lull, and it was right around that time where I was working for Bay Today and doing some freelance work with Cogeco. But I mean, I was just astounded looking at how after the Centennials left, there was a long stretch where there was just not even North Bay kids getting invited to OHL camps,
right? Yeah.
Let alone getting drafted. And now, fast forward, and when I'm talking, whether it was Stan Butler or currently to Adam Dennis, I mean, now it's hard to keep track of how many North Bay kids are going to major junior camps, how many are playing junior A, how many are, maybe even going NCAA, some of them going to pro NHL camps. So definitely there's been a huge change since the battalion came in. And I think, obviously it's having the team here, but obviously, bringing OHL back has brought another level of interest back to North Bay.
Yeah, and just brings more eyes, I guess, to the city, right?
For sure.
The broader hockey community, I guess.
For sure.
So what do you have planned next? What's next? Are you slowing down at all? Are you staying involved in the community, still writing? Or what's coming up
you're
next?
looking at my gray. I should have worn a ball cap. I couldn't see all my gray hairs, right? But no, you know what? Keep plugging away. 10 years just over 10 years with the Voodoos, just over 10 years full time at Bay Today. So just keep on trying to be better every day is what you want to do. And certainly for the Voodoo side, we certainly have a lot to prove. We've got a good core of guys who won the Great North U18 Championship in 2023 that are assembled on the Voodoos this year, and so I think we're hoping to maybe try to relive that again. Not
nice.
Maybe we
We
want to relive
sure.
that in the spring of 2026.
Yeah, and that's the fun thing about those teams too. I guess lots of turnover every year, guys coming and going, right? So it's always kind of a different crop and team.
Junior A is a little bit different, Kyle, because you don't have a traditional draft like you do, and some of the other leagues, like the Ottawa League, they have, and some of the other leagues, they have an actual formal internal draft in their league. For us, it's all about recruiting. So if Cam Lockhart, a player we signed, we I know he's a battalion pick, so that makes it easier because of our connection having a battalion player. But we do have to recruit these guys, talk to these guys, convince them. Like one of our top defense recruits was a player that was from the Sioux U18 Greyhounds, not traditionally a place that we would get guys from, but he really popped out to us when we scouted him, and we talked to him, and he had interest in teams closer to home, but he really liked what we tried to tell him we were going to try to do. And of course we worked greatly with the battalion, because this young lad's going to his second battalion camp now, kind of through us. So appreciate Adam Dennis and John Winstanley with that, and our relationship with the battalion helps that way. So, but yeah, it is all about recruiting. The battalion for sure is a big advantage, and for us each year to be able to access their prospects, no question.
And are you doing a lot of the scouting yourself? Are you going in the rinks too? And traveling?
I got Ben Sargent in the room here. Ben's well-known covering Trapper hockey, broadcasting on Flow Hockey. I was actually broadcasting a U16 Trapper game as I keep flipping hats, and that's when I noticed Dylan Russell. And after the game, we finished the broadcast, and it was a game in Powassan against the U16 Trappers, and I went downstairs and talked to their coach, Jeremy Stevenson, former NHLer from Elliott Lake, Lake, and asked him if I could chat with Dylan, and that kind of got the ball rolling.
Nice,
and we're excited to see him in camp coming up soon.
Yeah, I guess all your past experiences have helped now as GM, eh? Knowing who to talk to. And
Kyle, it's really about trying to be, very transparent and honest, with the kids when you're telling them. You don't, like Peter, I was talking to Dylan's dad the other day, and, I told him, I said, we really pride ourselves in being, all rowing in the right direction. I'm not saying, Dylan, you'll be a first line power play guy. And then he goes and talks to coach and says, hey, GM Dawson said I'm going to be on the first power play. That would never happen because Peter and I are on the same page. I won't make promises, that we can't live up to. And I think that's sometimes it's tough because you know what? When Peter does the interviews with kids and tells them what they don't want to hear, sometimes they don't like them. But you know what? You got to respect him for being honest and upfront and not trying to, get a kid to, kind of follow around and drag on and then finally cut him at one point. So, honesty and being, honest is so important, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And before we get you out here, are there any other sports or anything else you wanted to talk about or cover in North Bay, or any other areas you've experienced over the years, or has hockey kind of been the main thing?
Hockey's been the main thing. I mean, I really like one of the things. I actually, when I was growing up in Lethbridge, Alberta, I actually worked for a minor pro baseball team, the Lethbridge Mounties. And the following year, I did an internship and ended up being the CTV beat reporter for the Lethbridge Mounties baseball team. And Rodney McRae, the guys that I know, Rodney McRae was the one who there's a highlight of him smashing through a wall to try to catch a baseball. He was one of the coaches there. But baseball, seeing the baseball evolving here, where you have the opportunity now at the Canadore Dome. You're getting Canadore is trying to create a college level team, and you're seeing baseball coming back after a few years of Stinger baseball. Now Panthers baseball coming, and you're seeing some really exciting things and results from young teams, even U9 rep teams, and that's really exciting. I really like baseball, so I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see what baseball brings. So
awesome.
And like watching my buddy Courtney Kenny and Matt Sukram as well playing senior baseball too. So that's a lot of fun.
That's great. Before we go though, do you want to plug when the Voodoo season starts and everything? Maybe get some people out to games the upcoming season.
We start mid-September. You know what? I don't know the exact date of our first home. The home, it's a long ways away, right?
Yeah.
And we only have one preseason game close by, and that is September 6th.
Okay.
We're in New Liskeard against the Kirkland Lake Gold Miners. We used to do a home and home against French River, but they're going and playing in a home and home against Espanola. So we're going to go play in the legendary Memorial Don Shepherdson Memorial Arena, home of former Voodoo and battalion player Justin Brazo. He grew up there, so that's going to be exciting, and that'll be our, hopefully we'll see some people, some Voodoo's fans come up north for that one. September 12th is when your season starts. And our season starts on September 12th against the Sioux Thunderbirds.
Perfect. Thanks for that.
Thank you. I got a little birdie that told me that to help me out.
Thanks, Ben. That's why we got you here.
Awesome.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, thanks for coming. Good luck in the season, but obviously, congratulations again on the induction.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it, Kyle. Nice to meet you. Great questions.
Yeah, nice to meet you too. Oh, thanks. Yeah, and it's a great honor. Like we said, hopefully we have more people in North Bay inducted in the future. You're the first one, and you can open the doors to some others, hopefully. So thanks a lot for coming by.
Appreciate it.
North Bay's turning 100, and what a time to be here. From the buzz of the Heritage Parade to sunset concerts at the waterfront, the city is alive with celebration. And you know who's right in the middle of it all? Homewood Suites by Hilton North Bay. We're proud to be a part of this milestone moment. Whether you're coming home from a family reunion, planning a gathering with friends, or just simply making the most of everything the Centennial has to offer, our doors are open. Stay in a spacious suite that feels like home, with a full kitchen to cook in, room to relax, and a space to unwind after a full day of fun. Are you hosting something bigger? Our event spaces and amazing local partners like the Grand and Stock Transportation make it easy to bring people together. Best of all, they're just steps from the action. The fireworks, the food trucks, the music, the laughter, it's all right here. Celebrate 100 years of North Bay with us. Use code Centennial to save on your stay anytime this year. Be at home with Homewood Suites by Hilton North Bay. Join the party today at 495 Oak Street West or give us a call at 705-495-3000.
It's almost that time of year. Early mornings at the rink, fresh notebooks and backpacks, and a community gearing up for another great season of varsity sports. At Source for Sports North Bay, we're proud to be part of it all. Whether it's finding your kid's first pair of skates, gearing up for tryouts, or outfitting your team for the season ahead, we've got you covered. Because here, we're not just a sports store, we're neighbors, coaches, teammates, and fans. And we're proud to cheer you on every shift, step, and stride of the way. Visit Source for Sports North Bay at 1321 Fisher Street and let us help you along your way.
Update from the Men's Senior Baseball League. We've got footage of Game 2 of the best-of-3 semis between Assante and Eastside Marios. Eastside needs to win to force Game 3. They start off strong, getting some help with this beautiful diving grab from former Sportscast guest Cooper Lamb. And then in the third inning, Damon Topley steps up and put a grand slam to put Eastside up 4-0. However, Assante found a way to claw back. 2 RBIs from Zach Dwyer, and the Winrow brothers each had an RBI as Assante ended up punching their ticket to the finals with a 7-6 comeback win.
I know you were talking to Jacob the other day about the games, or?
Yeah, he was. We're in the store. We're talking kids baseball stuff, but he recapped the night and obviously disappointed to be finished for the year. He still has to take on commissioner duties as he runs the league through it, but.
Sounds like a roller coaster, the game.
It was, yeah. That's what he said, and it's been some really exciting games whenever some of those teams get together, and it's great action. This is the best time of year to be out at the ball field too. It's beautiful with the backdrop of the ONR and the lights are out and the bugs aren't so bad. So yeah, some great baseball. Be sure to check that out. All right, so that just about wraps up the show. One last thing that I wanted to bring to people's attention. So the North Bay Blaze are going to be hosting the 13U Ontario Select Tournament Association's provincials. So there's, I believe, 26 13U teams in town. They're going to be taking up 6 diamonds.
All the hotels, too.
Yeah, very busy. Yeah, there'll be a lot of, you'll see a lot of girls, I think, in baseball uniforms walking around.
Yeah.
And so that goes all day Saturday, all day Sunday. I believe Handley and Kelly at Pete Pelangio Arena are kind of the main sites, but they're going to be using Amelia, Johnson, Lennox, and I think the base. Wow. So again, amazing. This is their second year hosting it, and they did such a great job last year. They asked them to do it again. So I will be on site as well because we're handling all the merch for it. So we've got lots of colorful hoodies for the kids because what's going to a tournament if you don't get a hoodie?
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's our episode for today. Thanks so much for stepping in and doing such a great job.
Happy to do it. No, it was a lot of fun. It was great to work with you. Yeah,
this is great. So, for another Sportscast, this is number 48. I'm Paul McLean.
I'm Kyle Anderson.
Be sure to share, like, and if you've got any ideas for future shows, make sure you let us know. Have a great day.